Hi, my name is Nicole Heinzelman, and I'm Head of Adult Services at the Winter Park Public Library. Welcome to your online office. Imagine the ability to create a document, spreadsheet, or presentation on the fly, anytime, anywhere. That is what Google Drive can do for you, and the best part is it's free. Also, if you have a Gmail account, then you already have access to Google Drive. What is Google Drive? Well, it's a cloud service from Google that allows you to work anywhere as long as you have internet connection. It has comparable features that are similar to Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. Again, this is all free. So today I will go over with you how to do this. All right now we are looking at the home screen of Google Drive, and there are a couple of ways that you can get there. First of all, if you are in your Gmail account, then you would go to the right upper part of your screen if you're on a desktop. In the upper right part of your screen, there is a set of little dots, and if you click on that to expand, you can see Drive is right there. The other option is to Google Drive. Go to google.com and just type in Google Drive, and there you'll find it. Click on it and sign in with your account, or create one if you need to. Easy enough to do. All right, let's begin. So on this initial screen, right across the top, we will see files that I have recently been in. Along the left are categories you can click on. And then in the center are the different files and folders that I have on my Google Drive. There you go. Folders first, listed first, and then the files. If we click on New, then we can see a number of things we can do. We can upload a file from our computer. We can even upload an entire folder. But for today, we're going to concentrate on Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides. So let's open the Google Docs. We can do that by clicking on that portion or by exploring on the arrow and choosing Blank Document. We can do it that way too. We'll be looking at templates later. When this opens, you should see some similarities between this screen in Google Drive versus Microsoft Word. Across the top are the menus that we are familiar with, and then we have this ribbon bar that gives you all of the capabilities to embellish your document, changing fonts, centering, margins, text, and more. And as I begin typing, take a look at the upper left part of the screen. It says in small letters that it is saving. So every time I type in here, make a change, Google Drive is automatically saving for me. That's great because I know I've lost a file or two before by not saving it. So Google Drive will save that for you. You also have the option to download it as well, which we'll look at later. All right, there is exactly what I just worked on. Untitled. Let's open it up and see what it looks like, just like I left it. So let's change it up some by highlighting it. Maybe change the color of the font or bold it, change the type of font. This has less choices than the Microsoft Word product, but still very comparable, more than enough to get you started. Center it and more. Insert charts, tables, images, what have you. All that capability right there. Okay. All right, playing around with that a little bit more. Clicking on File and then Download gives you the option to save it and to your computer. Keep in mind, if you choose Microsoft Word, it's going to save it as a docx. So if you happen to have an earlier version of Microsoft Word, you'll have to do a couple of other steps as far as opening it on your computer, but it can be done. Going back to our main screen, let's change that name. Such a generic name, Untitled Document. Clicking on Rename opens this box, makes it super easy for us to name it, in this case, August 12th document. Let's right click on it again. Oops, it shows you what time we were just in it. right-clicking. Let's try to make this available to see on the screen. Let's try it again. There you go. Lots of different things you can do. You can share it, get a shareable link in case you want to embed it in a website or social media. You can move the document to another folder if you wish. And let's see, yes, very easy to do by doing that. There's the option to rename it. Yes, we could choose those folders if we wanted to. Renaming, I showed you that. Oh, and the removing. We'll look at our trash folder later on. But for now, let's practice sharing. When you click on share, you will be prompted to type in the email address of who you're sending it to. And then in that box where it says editor, if you expand it, you'll see that you have two other options, viewer and commenter. If you keep it as editor, the default, then that's going to allow the recipient the ability to edit and make changes to the document. If you don't want them to have that capability, then check one of the others, view or comment only. All right, we'll open it again because I want to show you how you can do a comment, how you can add a comment. This is great if you're collaborating with someone on an article or a resume. All you need to do is you can highlight the portion that you want to be referred to in a comment and click on that add comment. Begin typing and then click comment. What that will do is it will show up in the document on the right, but it will also keep that particular portion of the document highlighted. I'm going to back out so we can see this all over again, like we're opening it fresh. Let's try this again. Okay, so the word type is still highlighted automatically once it finishes loading. It's taking a little bit of time on my very slow computer. And that comment pops up right there. And clicking on that comment, there's a reply box. You can start typing a reply and send it. And that is how you can communicate with a recipient and make changes and make the best document possible. Options for editing there as well. And there's the share button. There are so many ways to do one step. Back on the home screen, let's go back up to new and let's check out the templates that Google Docs offers from a template. Just like Microsoft Word, you have ready-made templates for resumes, letters, project proposals, brochures, and so many more. Wow. Because I love pets, there it is. I have to click on Pet Resume. And you'll see how beautifully laid out this is for you. You don't need to worry about formatting or margins or even picking out a font. They do it for you. You can change it, or you can just, like myself, go about it very easy by typing in what you wanted to say and let Google Docs do the work for you. You can add information there in each section. You can even change out that picture of the dog. So many things you can do with these templates, so much to choose from. And this has been saving for me automatically. There it is, Pet Resume, a generic name because it is a Pet Resume template. So let's rename it. Click on rename. Oh, before we do, let's move it to the Stan Photos folder. Stanley is the name of my cat. We'll open up that Stan Photos folder and the resume should be in there. There it is. It's very easy to move it back out. If we don't want to keep it there, we can move it back to the main screen. Let's go back to the main screen and see if that happened. Oh, there it is. Okay. Actually, I think I will keep that name. It's good enough for now. All right, and now Pet Resume is up in that top row because I was just in there along with the August 12th document. Let's look at Google Sheets, the equivalent of Excel. We'll start out with a blank spreadsheet, just like we did with Google Docs. As it loads, you'll see immediately the similarities between this and Microsoft Excel, the typical menus, and then the ribbon bar across the screen to help you embellish and edit your Spreadsheet. This has all of the functions, most of them that you need, that you would be used to from Excel, including functions, which I will be opening shortly. Right now I'm just populating it with some data so that I can show you how some of the functions work, how you can change how it appears. So that symbol opens up the function menu, and you'll see that it offers pretty much the same as you would get in Microsoft Excel. Let's test it out by clicking on Sum. There it is. There's that magic number, and I'll center it. And this spreadsheet has been actively saving as I've typed it. It tells me in the top left that it has been saved to Drive. Just exploring some more of the functions that you can use, the way you can order your spreadsheets, what you can insert from charts to images to even a comment. There is a comment box on that menu, so you can use that. The other way to add a comment is you can see that in the upper right-hand corner. I'm going to get over there. There you go, an upper right-hand corner image of a comment, and that is where you can add it. Once you add it, let's go ahead and click on comment. There's a little tiny caret that will appear in that cell, and when you hover over it, it opens up the comment. You can also see any changes you've made in that cell. I will show you that eventually. There are the options to download. All right, back on the main screen, it is given a very generic title of Untitled Spreadsheet. Let's rename it. Sample for August 12th. There we go. I'm opening it again. Actually, I'm going to share it first. And just as we did with Docs, I will send it to myself and then choose what kind of permissions I want myself to have, my work self anyhow. I'll keep the default of editor, but remember, we have viewer and commenter permissions that we can apply instead if we wish. All right, so that has been sent. If you click on View Details, that will show you, and then click on Activity, that will show you the changes that is where you can view the changes you have made as you've worked on it. I'll right click again, and then we should see the option to view details for that particular file, July 26th through August 1st. Okay, heading back up to the top, let's take a look at the templates that Google Sheets offers. If it's anything like the Google Docs, I think we'll all be very impressed. There you have it, from budgets to calendars to schedules to even a travel planner. I'm just going to choose one randomly. I think I'll go with schedule. Oh, wedding planner too. I open up the schedule and it's going to load, and from there I can populate each cell. And yes, I can change the font if I wish, and so on and so forth. There are even functions available in this schedule too. And there is the button to share. And this is reminding me that I can also see the edit history of a cell by right-clicking on it. But first I need to populate that cell. Let's see if I can do that. There we go. Just typing in some random letters. And if I click on that, I can show edit history very quickly. And don't forget, we also have the capability to add some comments anytime we wish. The types of fonts you can change and the functions. Let's go back to the home screen, and this time let's look at Google Slides. This is the equivalent of Microsoft PowerPoint. Wow, it looks just like it. It really does. Off to the right, you'll see some themes that you can choose. I didn't scroll down, but you can to see even more themes. I'm picking a generic one eventually, but I might just start typing. There I go. I selected that one. I can insert images from my computer or even from the web. Photos I have stored, etc. There you go. And I end up searching for cats because I love cats. So let's go ahead and insert that image. And I can move that image around on that sheet there, that slide. Move it around to where I want it to be. I can resize it, all sorts of fun things. I can add charts, diagrams, you name it. We can do it. Even word art. Clicking on New Slide adds another one. Same theme. Options right there for another slide. And changing how you can view it on your screen. So if you prefer to see the layout like that in its entirety, easy enough to do. You can change the background. So that came with a navy blue in the theme, but you can play around with it, maybe make it a little bit brighter if you wish. I'm just having some fun playing around on that screen. I'll go from green, I think, to yellow. You can have a lot of fun with this, adding images as well. All right. So the next thing I want to show you is how it would look if you were presenting it. There's your slideshow. I won't play it in its entirety. It's very dull because I haven't added any content, but that's what it would look like. So that's really good to know that you have that capability. There's that comment box. If you wish to add a comment, there you go. You'll find that you'll find that across the board on these apps in Google that you learn how to use one, then you will be very comfortable exploring and using the other apps that kind of go along with it. There I am adding a comment. And apparently I'm concerned about my spelling. All right, so let's go back and let's open up the new. Let's click on new again. Oh, before we do, yes, I forgot, we need to rename it. Something I need to do every time. There, that looks much better. All right, let's share that. Get a shareable link. Viewing details. We showed you how to do that in a prior exercise. Right-clicking will get you that menu. Okay, opening it up again, you can see the work I did. And if I wanted to see a comment, that comment, oh, there it is. It pops up on the side. Clicking on it would open it if I wanted to. There it is. And if I clicked on that portion of the comment, then I could respond to it, or rather my recipient could respond to it. And then we could go back and forth editing the document as we needed to. Let's look at the templates. Just like with docs and sheets, we're going to have a lot to choose from. And even though I don't cook, I opened up that recipe book as a sample. So I will do that very shortly. But you can see the array of choices you have. Okay. Off to the right side, the themes. We were familiar with those. And then off to the left, wow, they give you a lot of slides in here that you can use. If you don't need all of those slides, it's easy to delete them, or rather to cut them, which I am doing right now. Just as easy to insert a slide as to cut it. And I've cut it down to 2 slides. It's going to be a very short presentation of a very short recipe. There you go. I can even change the layout if I wish. You can really go down the rabbit hole with all of the capabilities of these 3 apps. There we go. There's a ribbon bar that we're familiar with, the option to present and add the comments, the good old sharing button. All right, let's go back. So the next thing I want to show you is how we can create a folder. So we've made a lot of fresh documents today. Let's make a folder for these all to go into. You saw how I clicked on New Folder. I'll call it August Class Samples, and bam, there it is. Let's move everything I've done today into that. You can also drag it into the folder, but I'm a big fan of right-clicking, so that is the way I will do it for this particular exercise. And don't forget that even though you've moved it, it is just as easy to remove it and put it back on that main screen. Let's go into that folder and we should see what I have done so far for this class, along with the time that I was last in the file. Recent activities, recent items I've worked with. I can search for work that I have done. In this case, I'm looking for a schedule, a weekend rotation for myself, and okay, and there it is, all in its glory. Let's head back to the main screen. So I want to talk a little bit about the trash folder. You saw, I'll open it after we look at this screen again. I will eventually go into the trash folder. There's been a lot of conversation and threads about how long does Google Drive keep your files. Most you would think it's usually 90 days and such. I've seen threads where it has been kept much longer. I think it's a good amount, and it's very easy to restore any files that you have done, that you have deleted. And that would be back on the home screen. That is what was in my trash, and I easily restored it. So that would be something that you can investigate about more, is exactly how long it keeps your files. Yeah, there's a lot of information out there about that. It's hard to pinpoint it. All right, so that is Google Drive in a nutshell, and I do hope you take the time to explore it, create an account, use all of the capabilities that it has. Don't forget that if you have any questions about Your Office Online, you can call us or email us about that, and we'll be happy to help you. It's info@wppl.org.